Okay, welcome back for part 3 of the Castle Crusade. I think this is the first time we've ever made it to month 2, day 7 without a single fight against our opponents, but I've decided we are about to change that. We are going to go and attack Adela, and before I do, I should explain the way prayer actually works. So basic prayer is a +2 boost to our attack, defense, and speed. And on top of that, the prayer specialty is an extra +2 to each of those stats if the unit is between tier 3 and tier 4. If it's between tier 1 and tier 2, it's an extra +3. If it's between tier 5 and tier 6, it's a +1. And if it's tier 7, then it has no effect. It's the same as normal prayer. But still, it's a really good specialty, especially if you can do it as a mass cast. But even in this case, it will be a +4 boost to our speed, which will take them up to 13 speed. And then because we're on our native terrain, it should take us up to 14 speed. So if she has 4 pikemen, that's kind of a problem. And if she has magic arrow, that's also kind of a problem. So I'm thinking I'm going to keep these two split. And if she does go for a cast, we can always flee before we lose Loynis. So Loynis should be completely safe. Worst case scenario, we flee back to our town and we start pushing out from there. Best case scenario, we can take her out, we can immediately get our spell points back. And then we can push to the north, grab ourselves Armourer, and then come back and take the Portal of Glory next week. I think that should work fine. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get ourselves some resources to make that work, and I've decided we can afford to get rid of our ore, we don't really need that. And we can trade away a few of our gems. Need to trade away one more. That takes us up to 1,000 gold. We can always get more gems from the Mystical Gardens, and ore is not going to be a problem either, we don't really need it. So we're going to go for +1 knowledge, and we're just going to go for this. Okay, so we're expected to win, but let's just play it out properly because auto-resolve can be a bit funny. So we go for prayer, we're able to reach them. It's going to do 3 to 8 damage, so that's not enough to kill, but she actually has 6 spell power, which is kind of unnerving, and I think I just want to go and deal some damage while I can. They're not going to be able to win a straight fight. Yeah, so she does have magic arrow, so we have to be pretty confident this is going to kill. So they've got 4 HP left. It's very much in our favour. So when the next round begins, we do get to move first, so it's completely safe either way. Yeah, I got panicked there, but it was of course the end of the first round, so we still had that chance to take them out. There was actually no risk there, so that's perfect. And we also claim the slow spell, which is excellent because we have expert earth magic. We can go to this, and we can then push up to this, and I think we'll just end the turn there. We don't have enough gold to spend on that. We're going to send Orin down to the south, and we're going to try and take on these zombies. Once we take on the zombies, we can go pick up some sulfur, and at that point, we have, assuming it's 5 or more, which it might not be, but assuming it's roughly 5, we're going to have all the resources we need for the upgraded Portal of Glory, and at that point we can get ourselves some Archangels and start going for a really strong push. Tyrus I think is fine where she is. I did call Tyrus a man in the previous episode. I think Tyrus has a kind of boyish look, but is in fact a woman, so fair enough. Let's actually stick with the Angel instead of these, and Tyrus should have plenty of movement points next turn. Adelaide is fine where she is, and we're not going to spend any gold in our town, so I don't know why I didn't move this guy all the way. So I think that's fine for the end of the turn. Let's just end the turn there. And actually having mass slow is really interesting because as long as we can keep our griffins safe, Nagas really hate being slowed. We've got 80 spell points, so we can summon 4 stacks of earth elementals, actually 3 because we will be casting slow, but we can cast 3 stacks of earth elementals, and we still have some spell points left after that, just to weaken them a bit further. And that gets us the Hellstorm Helmet, which I'm pretty sure is knowledge, even more knowledge. So we grab that, we can come back to the well, and we can do quite a lot with that. So yeah, let's go for this. So naturally we're expected to lose if we don't use any spells, but all we have to do is cast slow. Even if they get morale, they're not going to be able to reach us. You can see how slow they are. We're just going to... Let's go to the bottom. Let's summon an Earth Elemental. And let's wait. Let's send these towards the middle. There is an argument for not engaging until we have a few more stacks, but I feel like this should be pretty winnable. I guess there's a slight risk. So the main thing is to keep them away from the Royal Griffins, so if we just move down to the bottom, should be safe from these. And then if we move these guys down to the bottom as well, even if they get morale, they're not going to go for us. Then we can cast it again. We can wait. These guys can go in for the first attack. Okay, and at this point I think, yeah, we should be able to win just a straight fight. You see, even if they do get morale, they're just going to end up fighting our Earth Elementals instead. These guys still can't reach us, even with morale, I'm pretty sure. Can't cast it again. So we can cast things like Curse, we can cast Teleport, which I don't think helps us too much. Yeah, I think for now I'm just going to wait, because if this goes on for a few rounds... We do of course have the Cape of Conjuring, so effectively we have a spell power of 7. So I don't think I'm too worried about the mass slow wearing off, but even so, just going to be a bit careful and try and hang on to as many spell points as possible. And let's just move these across. Now hopefully these guys are going to go south instead of back towards the Griffins, because we really don't want to risk them catching up to the Griffins. Go for the 2-stack. Yeah, so they're still coming forward, so that's all good. And I'm pretty sure we do have the numbers to win this. So Curse literally does nothing against Nagas. I probably should have acknowledged that. It literally does nothing, doesn't help us at all. What I might do instead is just haste these. And we're going to try and pull away from this stack at the top. Keep things simple. Obviously if they start moving towards the Griffins, that's kind of annoying, but I think they won't. Yeah, they don't, so that's good. These guys are down to 1, these guys are down to 1, so yeah, we pretty much won this. And we do need to go for another mass slow. Okay, so we've got one more 3-stack to go, but they still can't reach us, I think. Yep. So, pretty safe from them. Let's wait with these. Attack with these. Send these up to attack these, do manage to finish them off, and then these guys can come in for the attack, but let's just wait first. As they do get morale, but we so much outnumber them that we're completely safe. Okay, so that's effectively no losses. We're going to go for the Hellstorm Helmet. I could probably also take on the Gorgons if I go to the Magic Well and come back. I don't think there's any need to do that. Another thing is, I was having a quick look at this again, and we can see there's a Magic Well right there. So potentially if we did want to go for a push with Loynis, which probably isn't very wise because he's got so few units at this point, if we did want to do that, we could actually take on the Gorgons, do the same thing to them, and then go through there and get our spell points back. I think the more useful thing to do is just to go for the Portal of Glory. Once we pick up a few extra pikemen, we should be pretty safe to do that. We definitely want to go and get Armourer. Should have actually done that first, but was pretty safe either way. We're going to send Edric. Let's actually wait with Edric, and let's use Orin first. Lots of zombies should be pretty easy. Yes, there's quite a few of them, but we can always kite them. And Loynis is starting to get pretty good. Not quite in range. Okay, so if we hit 11 zombies with 22 Royal Griffins, is that good enough? They can't get morale, so it's probably safer if we just avoid. And we'll try and kite these. These guys come closer, we can defend with these. Attack with these. And can you guys still reach? Yes you can, so that's all good. Then we'll pull these slightly closer. Okay, so they're actually going that way around, but it doesn't really make a difference, just kind of slows things down a bit. I'll probably just skip out the rest of the fight because it's fairly straightforward. There we go. Okay, so that gets us basic wisdom, let's go for it. I feel like Orin is still a really good choice for a backup hero. We do also have Tyrus, who can do pretty much the same thing. Tyrus I'm thinking I'll probably send to the Portal of Glory. Let's go to this first, and let's see if this gets us an extra 500. We do get 500 from that, so that's perfect. That saves us the need to send Tyrus to the Water Wheel. We can instead go to the Portal of Glory. Pick up an extra angel. It's always better to prioritize the external angels because they will expire at the end of the week, whereas the ones in our town are pretty much just going to be there forever. So we do now potentially have access to up to 6 angels, and once we can take this, we're going to have such a good supply of angels that we're going to be able to really do some damage. So I think we should send Tyrus just to the east for now. He's a bit too weak to go and she's a bit too weak to go and do anything else, and I think this stuff isn't too useful, but it's better than nothing, so let's just go and check it out. Yep, so no losses expected there. Let's just go for the level up, and I think we can pick this stuff up with Tyrus. Orin we're going to send south to take on the Skeleton Warriors. Should be pretty much more of the same. Okay, that's them finished. We can check out what this is. Destroy Undead. That could be kind of useful, but obviously Orin can't learn it without a spellbook, and I'm not actually sure if I'm going to send Loynis up here. He would be able to help take on the monastery. We've also got the Medusa stores, and I feel like there's some way we can make it work against lots of Cyclops Kings, and we don't actually know what's to the east. There could be a way underground. That's probably worth checking out. So I think I will send Edric up in that direction. And then we should be able to pick up an extra hero from here. Might as well take the fight. We're not expected to take any losses, so that's perfect, saves us the need to do that. That actually opens up Caitlyn, and Caitlyn is a level 1 cleric, which isn't great, but she does of course come with the plus 350 gold per turn specialty, and if there's any resource that we're kind of struggling for, it's definitely gold, so that's great. We can also see the roof of a Dragon Utopia, but I don't think we have any way to access that. So let's go back to our town. We can pick up the Brotherhood of the Sword. I think I probably won't do that unless we absolutely have to. And then the rest of this stuff, not too urgent, so let's just leave it for now. Okay, so Caitlyn, let's actually take the units. And then we can take a fight with a horde of Master Gremlins. I feel like that might actually be worth it. But probably not if we involve the Marksmen, because the Marksmen are just going to get killed. Let's try this instead. Well, a horde is quite a lot, so I'm a little bit nervous about that. We might need literally every Griffin we can get. No, I think it should be safe. I'm pretty sure it should be safe. I mean, these guys are tier 3, they're pretty decent. There are 96 of them, so that's a really strong horde, but we start off with Cure, which is better than nothing. I am actually thinking about sending these forward just in case of morale, but let's just hold back instead. They are going to go for these guys, which is fine. I probably will send them forward, so I'm not going to defend. Let's go forward. We do get morale with these. I think that's just pure luck because I'm pretty sure Caitlyn doesn't start with leadership. Okay, so these guys I think should be able to take one attack from these. Start by attacking these. And these guys can reach, that's perfect. So what I don't know is, if we attack these, the retaliation is going to be... It's going to be quite a lot, actually. So yeah, we don't want to go for the attack. We don't want to try and absorb the retaliation. Just want to go straight in and attack with these. Get as many kills as we can. I'm not sure that was worth it, but still. These guys... Which ones got attacked? So this stack here got attacked. They shouldn't have done that, because these guys I'm pretty sure were defensive. That didn't make a lot of sense. This is our big stack, so let's go for these. And then these guys, guaranteed at least one kill, let's just do it. They go for the pikeman once again, 9 losses, that's completely fine. Pick up some more resources. And let's move back towards Orin. Let's leave Orin with just the one griffin. And let's keep pushing. She does start with basic wisdom, so she has now got Destroy Undead permanently, which could be kind of useful. We do of course have 3 separate Necropolis opponents, but that's actually a bit strange. So Pink's best hero is a Necropolis hero, and Tan's best hero is Conflux. Doesn't necessarily mean that much because it literally tells us our best hero is Caitlyn, which is kind of stretching things a bit. That's not really particularly accurate, but still pretty interesting. Okay, so let's end the turn there. Let's see if we see our opponents or not. Seems all pretty quiet, but Orange has started pushing through. I feel like that could be a main. I don't know why I think that, but I think it could be. No, it's pretty weak. I would call that a scout. I'm not too worried about that. I don't really want to take the fight with Loynis. I probably want to try and avoid that. So Loynis can go and visit these. I'm not sure our other heroes would, so let's just go for it. Of course, we do want to completely avoid the Scholar, because in Shadow of Death you don't have the option of turning them down. You can really screw yourself over by going to a Scholar. Okay, so upgraded training grounds is an option, I think. It's really not urgent to do that, so let's try and save up for the upgraded Portal of Glory instead. We can send Tyrus up to pick this up, but I think Adelaide could do that instead, so let's go for this. I'm going to pick this up, but because we do get a lot of morale with our Angels, we're just going to put it in our bag instead. Fight with lots of Griffins should be pretty safe. Perfect. So Tyrus does get access to basic water magic. It's less important if we're not talking about Loynis, but I might still go for it. Just in case we get the ability to pass prayer around later on. So this artifact is +2 to our attack and defense, and then we can push on to the Gogs, which should be pretty easy. No losses expected, and we can start moving back towards town. Let's send Adelaide to the south to pick that up. Go north towards these. And then Orin is free to push to the north. Let's take a few extra units. So I didn't really see too much when we were scouting that makes me think we particularly need send Orin in this direction. Pendant of Dispassion, not really worth going for. +1 to our attack or defense, again not really urgent. This isn't exactly a main hero, so I'll probably just start moving back west instead. I'd be kind of tempted to try and take this on. And I still think I mostly just want to avoid this fight. I think if they start with Storm Elementals, we're just going to end up losing a few marksmen. And yeah, it's not going to be worth it, so let's go west instead. Caitlyn, same situation. I think there's not much more for us to do up here. Maybe we could go for this. I feel like we shouldn't leave it behind. Yeah, I feel like that's probably still worth going for. Even if we do take a few losses, it's not too bad. Check the tavern too. Okay, so we've pretty much just stolen Adela. Unfortunately, this is Shadow of Death, so... I can't actually explain why her spell power is so high. She's level 1. She has no artifacts. That's really strange. Maybe she got picked up from a prison? But yeah, the problem with picking up Adela is she has Diplomacy, and Diplomacy is kind of overpowered, and that's not really what the point of this run is. We are just trying to give ourselves somewhat of a tough time, so I don't really want to go for Adela. Now, Dace is not very good. I thought he might be Gunnar. Dace and Gunnar look really similar, so I thought that might be Gunnar. I thought that's probably worth picking up for the logistics specialty, but it's a Minotaur specialty instead. So I think we're just going to completely ignore the tavern this week. And let's just end the turn there. So if orange moves towards us, which actually they don't, they just go back instead, that's completely fine. Teal is still hanging around, but I'm guessing they're not getting too much stronger. So we could actually send Loynis up to take this fight. We can actually reach it within 1 day. We can also go for the Medusa stores. It's only day 3, so we can definitely afford to come back. Let's do some scouting first. Okay, so that's a bit of extra gold. It's definitely worth leaving at least 1 hero in this area for the long term. I'm hoping they can defend themselves if someone comes to attack. Orin, I have not decided what to do with yet. We're very close to getting the upgraded Portal of Glory already. Resource Silo is not going to be worth it. Yeah, I'm very tempted to go for this. Because Loynis is of course the best hero we can go for a push with, but we can easily do it with our other heroes as well. So it's not massively needed. Before we do anything else, let's see what this skill is. Basic learning, okay, so yeah, we'll definitely be avoiding that. Okay, so Tyrus can keep pushing to the west. We could go into our town, we could pick up a few extra angels, but I think I'd prefer to save up for the upgraded Portal of Glory. And in the meantime, should be pretty safe to take a fight with the Pixies. Okay, so decision time for Loynis. I think I'm so confident this will work that I want to just do it. The other thing is, of course, we would much prefer to have an angel before we take on the Medusa stores or the monastery. So yeah, let's definitely go and do that. So I believe this is completely safe, if I've understood correctly. Yeah, so it should be very similar to the previous fight against the Diamond Golems. Even if they do get morale, they just kill 2 of our stacks. That is kind of a problem. I might actually have to slow them now, because my plan was just to try and block in one of these stacks using our Earth Elementals. They can go most of the way across the field. Yeah, I think the safest option is just to slow them and just escape for now. Hope they don't get any more morale. That's kind of annoying because it means we can't burn our retaliation. Yep, so they go for that. This time we're going to start casting Earth Elementals. And I don't think there's a downside to this, because one of those stacks is dying either way. Probably wasn't worth it, but never mind. Okay, so we really have to watch out for the slow spell wearing off. but as long as we keep our eye on that, I think we should be fine. And we're just going to keep spamming these. So they're already down to 2, we might actually have enough as it is. Yep, definitely. So let's save our spell points. There we go. Didn't actually need the 3rd stack, but now we do get water magic, so that's perfect. We can pick up one of these, and we can start moving towards the Medusa stores. So Orin, I think, obviously doesn't want to go take the fight himself. Probably could, but let's not do that. Let's send Caitlyn up to pick this up. And let's start coming back, and then Orin is just going to go and visit this. Might as well pick these up. And let's just hand the units over. Back in this town, we could go for the upgraded training grounds, it's not really a downside. So it's currently going to take 2 turns for the upgraded Portal of Glory. If we buy this, it will take 3 turns. Yeah, I think we'll keep waiting, I think that does make sense. And let's send Adelaide back down to this, don't think she has too much else important to be doing. Okay, so Teal is back, and I feel like that could still be Caelid. Let's check. Yeah, so it's still Caelid, she's not getting any stronger, we definitely are, so I think we're good. I still want to do this because we get an extra +1 defense as well. So let's pass most of these over. Don't think we need haste. At this point we pretty much have prayer, which does the same thing. We've got plenty of spell points. And dispel is probably not needed. Yeah, we should be fine. Alright, so let's go to this. Let's try and get as close to this as we can. In fact, probably worth doing this first. Caitlyn can go to this. Pass those over. And Caitlyn's probably the hero I prefer to leave in this area, so yeah. Yeah, I think it makes sense to leave Caitlyn here. It's relatively safe. If she does get attacked, she should have enough free units that she can just flee. So the question is, can Orin make it back safely? I think before we do, let's go for these. Tyrus will go for these. Okay, so next up we have the Null Marauders. I'm still pretty confident we can push on. I think we will have some forewarning before they come through. Also want to check out what these actually are. I'd be tempted to buy another scout pretty soon because we're probably... I'm not actually sure we're self-sufficient, even with Caitlyn, even with the capital. 4,300 per turn. We're going to be producing 4 Archangels per week, with potentially an extra 2 Archangels from the Portals of Glory. That might just be a bit too expensive, so I'm going to keep hanging on to my gold. I am going to try and bring Edric back. And I think that's all fine for now. Okay, so Orange has actually broken through. I'm hoping that's not someone too strong. If it is, we're going to have to pull away. Let's check this out. Okay, so it's just more Lorelei. Yeah, this should be safe. If she has really good spells, we might lose one, but no, we're expected to win. I am going to fight this out because, like I say, I'm not sure that auto-resolve is particularly fair on spellcasters. Start here. Okay, so our spells, Bless obviously doesn't help us. Magic Arrow, is that enough to kill a stack? Probably not. We cast it twice, maybe. I think I prefer just to wait for now and potentially go for Cure. Perfect. So let's take these out. And those guys can't reach us because of the ridge. Perfect. So these guys still have most of their health left, but let's just play it safe. She's got no spell points too. She flees, that's fine. We're gonna go for basic air magic. I mean, we did already go for water magic, I think. Yeah, we did. So maybe tactics would be better. But we're not guaranteed to get prayer in our mage guild, so let's just go for that. Fight against lots of marksmen should be fine. Fight against wood elves should also be fine. I would like to go and scout. So this takes us to nothing of great note. Let's just go back through. Let's go in this direction instead. Need to be a bit careful because I don't want to lose Tyrus and his angels. Okay, so Loynis is going to go for this. I really wish that I had tactics, but I don't. Okay, 5 to 9 monks, it's going to be 9. Let's actually rearrange this a bit, so this stack is going to be pretty irrelevant. As long as we have these guys in the middle, I think that should be fine. Let's do it. No losses expected, perfect. We'll go and pick these up. And let's start coming back. First we'll go for the Medusa stores. I should have taken some more time to rearrange these, but hopefully that's going to be fine. These guys can all move first. We can go for Expert Stone Skin. I think that's probably our best choice. Attack these. Yeah, this should be safe. Okay, so this stack is not really a threat anymore. This one is. And this one probably isn't. Yeah, let's go for these. Okay, so we get morale. These guys are on 7 health, so they should be safe from the Medusa. Yeah, our defense is 20, their attack is 9, so that should be completely safe. I didn't think that part through, so these guys do manage to come through and attack us. Let's go for this. And these guys across. These guys can't reach, so probably want to go for the block, although we should be pretty safe. I don't have magic arrow, so gonna have to just go for the block. These guys can't reach, so yeah, let's finish these off. They go for the angel, they manage to petrify the angel, but that's fine. We'll send these guys down. I think this gets the kill, yes it does. So just the 1 loss, that's definitely worth it for 3000 gold, 6 sulfur. And let's start coming back. See what this is. So that's Dispel, and I'm not super bothered about whether we go for that or not. Okay, so we're going to go straight for the upgraded Portal of Glory. That now gives us access to 4 Archangels, and we can bring Tyrus back and upgrade his angels. And at that point, we're going to be really difficult for them to stop, although this person... I think that person might have Dimension Door, so they're still going to have some fight in them, definitely. We've definitely got the best town in the game, no doubt, but there could still be some pretty big challenges ahead. I think the next thing to do is to go towards the Lizard Warriors and the Tree of Knowledge. And yeah, let's try and see if we can bring Orin back. Okay, lots of easy fights for Angels, might as well go and pick some of this stuff up. do have to be a bit careful. So there's a very small chance that they emerge from the shadows and do some real damage to us. If they do, we do have some gold in the bank, so we should be able to surrender. And yeah, I think that should be fine. So just because we do want to have a bit of gold left over, I'm going to hold back on the upgraded training grounds for one more day. I can probably afford another hero. So Dace is tempting, but let's just wait for now. This takes us to day 7. Someone's broken through. I don't think that's the really scary one, but they are coming in a pretty dangerous direction. No, okay, so changed my mind about this. Okay, I understand now. So you can see there's the very edge of a monolith. I couldn't see that for a moment, so I thought that there might have been a shroud of darkness holding it off, but no, that was always the case. We could always see the very edge of it. So they don't have Dimension Door, which means that wasn't their main that we saw running through, which means that this might be their main. No, it's Aislinn, and she's pretty weak, in fact. Orin could maybe win that. I'm not going to risk it. We don't know how good she is. We do know that she has the Meteor Shower specialty, so I'm not going to take risks. I'm still going to go for this. Okay, so I was hoping I could protect my marksman. Might not be possible. So I could try and just fish for the morale. And go for a teleport. I think I like prayer on these. Send these forward, hope for morale. Okay, no morale. Just gonna go for these. Still a chance of morale for these 2 stacks. Okay, no luck. So just gonna have to weaken these as much as we can. Alternatively, we just go defensive. I think we're better off going for the kills. They come forward, they go for these. These guys are going to go for a big shot against our marksman. I'm pretty sure if I can bait them into attacking the pikemen, that'd be perfect, but no, they do go for those. Okay, never mind. Alright, so I'm going to wait with these. I'm going to attack with these. These guys are down to 13. Probably should have just attacked my Royal Griffins in hindsight. These guys are pretty weak, so let's pull them away. And let's defend. Send these guys up to block. Okay, so we survived the attack from them, that's good. These guys don't manage to finish us off either. Go for these next, and I'm not sure the Angels can quite do this alone, so I'm gonna stay out of this. Okay, 2 losses for that is okay, and I'm hoping this is going to be pretty similar. We saw that in the last fight we weren't able to cross the field in 1 round. So I think we want to be... I think this position works. They're going to try and flee, I'm not going to chase them down, that's fine. Okay, so 2,000 gold for a free level, I think that's worth doing at this point. Basic archery is kind of tempting, but no, we're going to go for advanced water magic. I'm going to start moving towards this. And we're going to try and set up a chain for an extra angel next week. So if we go down to here, let's see how far Caitlyn can go. So she can almost make it to the School of Magic. Bring Orin back for safety. Okay, so I have a feeling I might be able to loop round. I think it's worth the risk. Yeah, so we can push up this way, that's perfect. Go for basic wisdom, and let's keep pushing north. Then let's go back to our town. I could pick up Dace, but no, we're going to hold back. We're going to end the turn there. So what I could have done is I could have hired a hero just for the sake of picking up the Griffins from the Griffin Tower before they expire, but I think that's completely fine. Okay, so Pink's coming through too, let's see what they have. So yeah, that's Cuthbert, and Cuthbert is extremely weak, that's not a problem. Okay, so going back to our town now, we now have 8 Archangels available, and that's in addition to the ones we can pick up from here. I did slightly work this out wrong, of course, because we do, of course, want to go to the Portal of Glory first. Let's take everything except the Griffin. Let's get as close as we can. Gonna use orange just as part of the chain. Send Loynis up. Take the units back. We can definitely take the fights with the Gorgons, that's not going to be a problem. Grab some gold from here. Let's bring Tyrus up in this direction. Let's try and get back to base. Also got Aislinn there, of course. She's not going to be able to kill us, I'm pretty sure, even with her specialty, so I'm not too worried about that. We got Ingham, who's the monk specialist. I think we might as well pick him up. And maybe that wasn't the best use of gold, but we've still got a really good amount coming in. That enables us to pick up an extra 2 Archangels. And this is the beginning of a really strong force. It's not amazing just yet. So there's 3 stacks of those. Let me just remind myself, do I start with haste? I don't start with haste, but I do start with magic arrow, which is not going to be enough. Yeah, so we might have to take a meteor shower if we do this. I don't actually want to go for that. I'm going to go for this instead. Start moving back towards base, and let's just pick up some fodder. Just to make sure she can't go for a surprise attack. I'm pretty sure she can't reach, but there's no point risking it. Okay, so the last thing to do now is just to pick up the upgraded training grounds, and at that point we are ready to go for a really strong push, and Aislinn is starting to run away. Pink is starting to run away. Yeah, I'm pretty confident we can do this. I mean, they might have some really strong heroes at this point. We're approaching month 3. Could be kind of dangerous. It kind of depends. If they've picked up Fly and Dimension Door, they can have some extremely strong heroes, so still have to be a bit careful. Yeah, I don't regret playing passively. I think it was a very unusual choice, but with the numbers of Archangels that we now have available to us, we've given ourselves an incredibly good platform to make a push from. These guys are not mighty Gorgons, so we should be pretty safe. See how much damage they did. They actually did quite a lot there. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'm going to start summoning some Earth Elementals. And I'm going to pull back. I'm just going to leave it to them. Okay, so this is going to be a fairly straightforward elemental fight, so I'm probably going to either speed this up or edit this out. Okay, there we go, no losses once again. We now have access to Expert Prayer. So we've also got Brissa, the Haste Specialist. She starts with expert air magic, that's a really good backup hero. Also has estates, which is always good. Okay, so we can potentially change some units up to Loynis. We don't need to go back to base with Loynis, but I think going for the Naga Bank would work, although we're not going to have all our spell points back, so probably just want to push on instead. In this case, we're going to go for spell power. Going to return to the town. We're going to finally finish off our dwellings. And at this point, we've got an incredibly strong platform. They're pretty much afraid of us, I think. They more or less know where we are. I'm sure they're doing some pretty impressive things in other parts of the map, but they know better than to come and attack us. So at this point, it's up to us to properly bring the Crusade in a more literal way. We're going to go for a proper attack and start taking them down. But we've done enough for this part, so thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time when we will begin going for a proper push and hopefully start just cleaving through them.